Shalom, shalom. How are you guys doing? I hope this has found everybody doing pretty well. Today I have a new video. It's been a little bit since I've done one, and this time I have the house to myself, so there's no one here to distract me, so photobomb me or anything like that. Let me see here. Today the video is about decisions, and we all make decisions. They're sometimes pretty heavy decisions and sometimes pretty light. I'm hoping that I can see this really well. Hold on a second. Yeah, because I got to read a little something. And Shulamyah needs her glasses, but I don't want them on because it gives a glare. Okay, like I said, this is about decisions. And, we make them every day. We don't always stick to the decisions. We make them, and sometimes we forget. We even make vows and forget that we've made them, and that's serious. It really is a serious thing when you make a vow to someone or about something, because usually you make a vow about it. It's pretty serious, and somebody's depending on you in some way, shape, or form. Let me see. I think that our decisions should be well informed, should be taken seriously when we make them. So this one here, this decision story is about love, marriage, commitment. Marriage and commitment are synonymous in this video. Okay, so when I say commitment, I'm talking marriage. When I say marriage, obviously I'm talking commitment. So let me read on. It says, a man should therefore leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Genesis 2:24, Bereshit 2:24. Marriage is the process of becoming one flesh. Marriage commitment is not two people coming together to form a partnership, nor an agreement to be roommates permanently. It's not a method to get a tax break or a way to share household chores or a setup for ongoing sex. Scriptural idea of marriage is two halves becoming one and completing each other. That's a beautiful thing. The man leaves his family and comes to this woman that he's decided to commit himself to, and she's decided to commit herself to him in order to form a new family. And it is terrible when we make this big decision and we make it on frivolous basis, no rock solid basis. These are pretty much sandy decisions, you could say. Okay, so what does the couple need in order to accomplish this sense of unification? Imagine marriage is a journey down the path of life. A car, gas, food, we're ready to go. What is necessary for the two travelers in this car to unite and travel together? Okay. In order to do that, you have to be in agreement upon the destination, your commitment, and whether or not you're going to be able to stick together. Okay? The destination, they have to know where they're going in order to commit to go together. If one wants to go skiing, he can't get there. Someone else wants to go to the beach. So if your decision about where you're supposed to end up at the end of the story, if it don't match, you need to think about it again. You need to step back and take a long look about, and think about who you're dealing with. Commitment. Two people won't arrive at their destination if one can back out at any moment. If you're not serious and you don't know whether or not this is what you want to do, then you really need to take a step back and think about life, look at things, look at that person that you're saying you want to be with, and realize that once you make this decision, there's no back door. These are all right now decisions that are going to last you for the rest of your life. So take your time to figure out what that decision may be. It won't hurt nobody. It's going to hurt somebody if you don't make the right type of decision at the right time, down the line. And so it's just affinity. If you can't stand each other, it's going to be intolerable. So what's the point if you don't already get along? If you're already fighting and arguing, if you can't come to any kind of common ground and get along and even like each other, what's the point? And this brings it down to sex with me, because it's like a lot of people can get along sexually. They can get along real good in that area, and it's all good and gravy, and they just enjoy themselves and everything. But when it comes down to them deciding to have a relationship and making decisions to love each other, to commit to each other, then that becomes a problem. They can't get along on that area. That arena is totally out of left field for them. So there's no reason for them to be entering into anything, and they need to quit having sex. Let's put it like that. If you can't see yourself in the future with this person, and it's all about sex, then you are wasting your time. You're wasting other person's time. Because a lot of times out of 10, one person may be okay with just sex. The other person may just be faking it. So if they are faking it, then you're wasting your time, because somebody's going to get hurt. Mainly that person who's faking it, because they're trying to keep you or want you. And then it could double back on you as well. Okay. So if in your decision you haven't taken these things into account, you are creating chaos. Chaos for you, the other person, your possible children, your family, your friends. It becomes chaotic when a couple splits, especially after they've had years in, or a child or children are involved. It becomes issues. Suddenly you got friends who don't know which side to take, family who don't know how to feel, because they might have liked old boy, or they might have liked her, and now y'all have split, and it's like they feel like they have to side with someone, and that's unfair. It's really unfair, because a lot of times, before any other factor comes in, as in another person being involved or anything like that, the issue is between the both of you, and you have to make the decisions on what you're going to do about it. No one, let me say this, no one, absolutely no one ever thinks about love being a decision, but it is. It isn't a decision that's made lightly. It really isn't a choice that can be taken back because you feel differently today. The decision to love goes on even when things don't feel good. Because when you get past the intense beauty of love and stay in a relationship with someone, it gets to be a daily grind sometimes. And yeah, I do mean a daily grind, because people's personalities are all different, and it's like sometimes people aren't that likable. Sometimes you ain't likable, and sometimes the grind of life meets you in your face at your door, and you have to deal with it. And sometimes that other personality that you got to deal with life with isn't always the sweetest or the easiest to deal with. Or maybe you're just not the most nicest person to deal with when you deal with a bunch of stuff, or when a lot of BS comes knocking at your door. Okay? You have times when you're blessed with utter joy, joy and those poetic moments and all those things. That's beautiful. But, and it helps you when you get to moment to have those types of things that come up. But for the most part, you're still grinding, trying to stick together, trying to make it together. The thing of it is that you have to decide, no matter what. When you decide that you want to love someone, it is not a decision that you take now and then decide a little later, I really didn't feel that way. I said what I said to get what I wanted. That's not how you love someone. That's not how you love someone. That's a very selfish person. Okay? So be real with yourself. Be very real with yourself when it comes down to making a decision about love, because it is a decision. It's like when you're talking about marriage. True marriage is okay, we in this, and we not going to split up. We're going to stick together no matter what happens. And let me tell you something. I saw a meme on Facebook. Funny enough, it said, I'm doing this marriage thing. I'm doing it one time. We ain't getting a divorce. You mad, take your behind in the other room, and blow some steam off and get your ass back in here because we're going to work this out. And I agree. That's when you decide to become a married person and take on this other person, their world, and they decide to take on yours. That is a complete decision of not only love, but commitment. Love is more than emotion. Everybody, oh, I feel. And don't get me wrong, that's beautiful to have those feelings of, walking on air and everything is beautiful and rosy. That's beautiful. But love is when you're tired as hell and you don't know why you're here. And you look around at the people in your world, your spouse, your children, and these are your people. And because you love them, you're not going nowhere. Because you love them, you're going to stick it out. You're going to grind away. It's not easy. But adult decisions are not easy. So you have to know that when you make that decision, be well informed. Now, let me put my disclaimer in here, okay? If someone you have decided to love isn't on the same page with you, and they're abusive and hurtful of you physically, mentally, emotionally, walk away. A slow death in any form isn't worth it. But this is why you take the time to learn the person that you're wanting to be with. Just because you dig that person doesn't mean you can live with them. You dig. It's really serious what you do, the decisions you make, because this affects everybody. Everybody. It affects you. It affects the person that you're with. It affects any children that you have. It affects your friends, your extended family. As I said before, when people break up, people feel like they have to choose sides. And if they don't choose sides, they just lose you. They quit hanging out. They don't want to talk about it. It's too rough. It's very hard. Very, very hard. So, love and commitment are decisions. Heavy decisions. Young people, if any young people are looking at this video at all, know that it is real. And you can't just step into anything and think that you're okay, that it's fine, that you can do and say whatever you want to say, and nobody's going to be affected. Oh, I love you today and tomorrow I don't. I want you now, but tomorrow I won't. Oh, I thought I loved you, but it don't work like that. You decide to love someone, you love them. It's a decision. And it's a choice. But when you make it, it's made. And that's the way it should be. Okay, people. I think I've run my mouth enough. And I hope this was a good one. I hope this all recorded good and everybody can understand what I'm saying. And it comes across in the spirit that it's meant. We often say the Most High is love, and He is. And He loves us and has continued to love us. We still exist. That should tell you a lot. You know? So, if we can accept His love and know that He loves us and hasn't given up on us. Oh yeah, He's let us go through some things, but He hasn't given up on us. Then how can we do that to people that we call ourselves loving? We can't. All right, darlings, it's been real. I enjoyed myself. I like this little talk I gave today. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm gonna view it and hopefully it works out okay, and I don't have to do a lot to it. Okay, shalom, shalom. You guys have a great day.